F-22 Raptor, the first and only fifth-generation fighter aircraft flying in the world today. Overwhelmingly effective, defending the skies today and into the future.
You talk too much. I can't believe the things that you say.
Russ, Feingold.
John Warner, Carl Levin, Arlen Specter, Pete King,
Mitch McConnell, Dick Durbin,
Joe Biden, Chuck Hagel,
Barbara Boxer, Dick Lugar.
Malachi has to find some formula, and I'm hopeful that one of the elements of the formula that he presents to the Sunnis is not amnesty, because that is going to run into solid opposition, obviously, in the United States.
To think of the lives that we have put on the line for the future of this nation, and that those who are responsible for killing our soldiers would not be held accountable is not acceptable.
No, I don't think granting amnesty to people who've killed Americans is acceptable, and I don't believe that's what the Iraqi government intends to do.
The idea that they should even consider talking about amnesty for people who have killed people who liberated their country is unconscionable.
I will try to be as clear as I can. The only people who have fought us and fought us against the timetable, the only ones still saying there shouldn't be a timetable, really are the Republicans in the United States Senate and in the Congress.
So the majority of the Democratic Senate is out of touch with the American people?
Yes, it is at this point. Those who vote against bringing the troops home don't get it. They're not out there enough. They're not listening to the people. Frankly, they're not even looking at the polls.
And the New York Times is putting its own arrogant, elitist, left-wing agenda before the interests of the American people. And I'm calling on the Attorney General to begin a criminal investigation and prosecution of the New York Times.
It's premature to call for a prosecution of the New York Times, just like I think it's premature to say that the administration is entirely correct.
The truth of the matter is they've uncovered an awful lot of things that the government's been doing that doesn't make sense as well. I'd rather them not have published a story. And by the way, what is being done, I think, is very different than the broad eavesdropping proposal that was underway.
What the government is worried about, and this is also true of previous disclosures that are analogous to this, is that there may be some terrorists out there who were using these regular banking channels to move their money, and that it never occurred to them that the United States government might want to look at it.
So if Lamont beats Lieberman, you're for Lamont?
That's correct.
And you will not campaign for Lieberman if they asked you?
I am not getting involved in the primary. If Joe Lieberman wins the primary, I campaign for him. If Ned Lamont wins the primary, I campaign for him.
So if he loses the primary and runs as an independent, you'll still support him?
I'm going to support Joe Lieberman in the Democratic primary, and I'm confident I hope that the voters...
But that's not what I asked, sir.
I know it isn't, and I'm not going to accept your premise, because I think that he's going to end up with the Democratic nomination.
So will you commit to supporting the winner of the primary if Senator Chafee decides to run as an independent?
Yes, I'll be supporting the Republican nominee, and I expect it to be Senator Chafee. He did not support the war in the beginning. He does not support it now. He is a good Republican. I expect him to win the primary and remain a Republican senator in good standing.
I'm going to look at this, Tim, after the elections in 2006. I need to look at what happens in the congressional races, how are the ideas I've been presenting been resonating with the American people, and decide whether this is something that makes sense or whether it's better for me to remain in the United States Senate. I have no interest in defeating anyone, including Hillary Clinton. I admire her. I think she's a talented person who is ready to be president. If I decide to run, I'm going to run because I think I'm the person that can do the job, and I would try to win on my own merits.
Could you emerge as the more progressive, the more liberal alternative to Hillary Clinton on issues like the war?
Oh, sure. There are issues where there would be a clear difference. We would have, if I decided to run, a spirited debate where I think I would have the majority of the Democrats on my side on that issue. Of course, we agree on many other issues, but Iraq and the war on terrorism would probably be the most important issue, and I'm confident that on that issue I would be able to prevail.
The editor of the New York Times said something to the effect, it's a matter of public interest. Well, that can apply to almost anything. Juan and I were talking about this earlier. That applies to ball scores. And, you know, I mean, women with their breasts exposed are a matter of public interest to some people.
You talk too much. I can't believe the things that you say.
F-22 Raptor. It is stealthy, lightning fast, supremely agile, highly precise, survivable, providing unsurpassed capability, this fifth-generation fighter aircraft, the first and only kind flying in the world today, once again providing the air power advantage. F-22 Raptor, overwhelmingly effective, defending the skies today and into the future.